Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning into Radio Maria 91.3 FM, the voice of truth. I hope you enjoyed your Easter break. I hope you had so much fun. Well, my name is Uche Chukwuma, your usual host. It is so great to have you here once again on Life Essential Talk, a talk show where we talk about healthy marriage, family values, family relationships, effective parenting, and fundamental life lessons. Last week, we talked about domestic violence, domestic abuse in marriage, why people remain in abusive marriages despite the terror, despite the horror, what the abused should do, and the effect of domestic violence on children. I hope you got something from that episode. Well, today we shall talk about the bully and bullied in schools and what parents should do. Now, one of my questions today is, do you know if your child is a bully? Or do you know if your child is being bullied in school? Well, today and shortly, we shall talk a whole lot about it. And to help me do justice to this topic is my brand new co-host, Claire Ohunayo. Claire, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you on the show with me. All right, so let's take a break, and in just a few minutes, we shall get back on the show to dive right into our conversation. Don't go away. Thank you for staying tuned to 91.3 Radio Maria, still on Life Essential Talk to discuss the bully and bullied in schools and what parents should do. Now, a school provides an atmosphere of learning, which we all know. However, it comprises children of diverse backgrounds, different orientations, and children from unstable homes. School environment, being a facilitative place for learning, could also expose susceptible children to multiple tensions, which could hinder progress or enhance resilience. Schools are supposedly not places where parents should dump their problematic children, despite being open for all to learn. Learning and developmental process of a child can be influenced by the teachers and, of course, parents. The best approach for school success is to ensure that parents and teachers work together as friends. On the home side, all the things you know about your child, the help you give them for homework, and their social development with siblings. On the school side of the line are all the things your child's teacher knows about him or her, the help they are getting with their schoolwork, and their social development with peers. The information on both sides can be incorporated to create a fuller perception of your child and to help address indication of bullying if observed. Children, as we all know, change constantly. No matter how well you train your child, there are some extraneous factors that could influence that child negatively or positively. Even as a child grows and develops at every stage, so shall the parents nurture and groom that child at every stage. So Claire, what do you think about this?
Uche, you have introduced the topic quite well. You've talked also about the bully and not just the bullied. I do agree with you on a lot of, in fact, on all that you have said. We as parents and those of us that have the opportunity to be teachers as well,
yes,
do have a lot to play in the lives of children developing soundly,
yes,
and not turning out to be either bullies or to be the bullied. And I would like to just add further that it's not just children that we notice these things in. Bullying sometimes extends even outside school,
okay,
and within different settings, in the workplace,
yeah,
in the new home, in the home where these young children build later on. You know, in different places, just anywhere where there are human beings, you will find bullies.
Okay, thank you so much. We have a lot to discuss on this. Let's take a break to return shortly for more on bully and bullied. Don't go away. Okay, still on Radio Maria 91.3 FM, Life Essential Talk, discussing the bully and bullied and the bullied. So let's go into bullying proper. Bullying is a problem in our schools. Yet many teenagers, parents, teachers, school leaders do not always recognize this. And they may not know to what extreme it can get. Bullying is a form of abuse. It involves repeated acts over time, attempting to create or enforce one person's or group's power over another person or group. Thus, an imbalance of power. Now, this imbalance of power may be social power and or physical power. The victim of bullying is sometimes referred to as a target. Bullying types of behavior are often rooted in a would-be bully's inability to empathize with others whom he or she would target. So Claire, can you talk more about this?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Uche. You have started that off very, very well. The bully is, like I said, is one of us all the time. You know, I could be a bully, you could be a bully. Anybody can be a bully. You know, it's not exclusive to some particular kinds of people.
Exactly.
You know, so the bully, there are different things that make people become bullies. Funny enough, bullies are not always very courageous people. You know, the general perception is that they're strong, they're courageous, but they're not always very courageous people. For instance, a child who is in a home where he is oppressed, let me use that word. A child who has a parent or both parents as bullies, or has siblings that are bullies, may be the bullied at home, but when he gets outside, becomes a bully. So those are some of the influences that make children become bullies.
Yes.
Sometimes also, it might be a child that has always been known to be very assertive. A child who, not assertive in the positive form now, you know, assertive, I'd like to say assertive as a positive word, but you may find that that child wants his way all the time. He always just wants to have an opinion and so on. You discover that it's likely that child may be a bully. So as parents and even teachers in school, we need to be, we need to learn our children. That's the best way I can see it. We need to learn the children that are under our care, whether as parents or as teachers, or even other people within the child's immediate environment, so that we'll spot those things that indicate and then curb it before it gets too
escalates. Yes. And you know, I always believe that bullies are cowards. Bullies are cowards. They are not because just like you said, they can seem confident, assertive and so on, but inside of them, they're just cowards. And you know, there are basic types of the bullying now. It could be emotional, it could be verbal, it could be physical, honestly. And it involves subtle methods of coercion, such as intimidation. I can remember when I was little, well, okay, let me say younger, I was about, let's say 10. I had this bike that I loved so much. And anytime I come out to ride this bike, there's this girl, I think about my age, or maybe a little bit older. Immediately she sees me out, she'll come out and tell me, go in. You see me? I will rush into my house At the time, I was like, I couldn't enjoy my bike, my brand new bike any longer. So one day at school, and we went to the same school. So at school, she tried it again at school. Then I had to summon courage, and I shouted at her. I told her, I gave it back to her. Do you know, since that day, that girl stopped disturbing me, stopped saying anything to me, and then I was able to come out with my bike and ride. She never disturbed me, just because I confronted her. So that tells you that bullies are cowards, and that is what our children don't really understand. And bully can be, like you said, is someone who intimidates, threats, and brings harm in various ways. And these bullies, they can come in different shapes and sizes. You can't always pick a bully out by what they look like. Just like you said, it's not exclusive to anybody, you know. And there is this author that I like so much. He wrote The Bully, the Bullied, and the Bystander. He's stated that bullies have their lines and actions down. Sometimes they take their cue from the movies they see. They might watch a movie and try to act it out.
Yeah.
The games they play, and some of these games too, there are certain games that have all these bullies and, you know, certain things like that in them. They pick up those things there. And also the children they hang out with, kids that they hang out with, the school they attend, the culture that surrounds them, you know. And bullies as individuals who exploit a situation in which they are more powerful than another. And those and they seem, like I said before, they seem to be confident, they seem to be assertive, but they're cowards, you know. So what can you say more about this, about these bullies?
Okay, so bullies, the problem about, I'm going to go leave the bully himself and then just talk about what bullying turns out to be a lot of the time.
Okay.
Thank God you have already mentioned the fact that there are different types of bullying.
Yes.
So you find that the bully becomes abusive, and this abuse can be physical, as in the bully beats other children, as we say it in our own climes. The bully tries to hurt other children by causing them pain. The bully can also, in time, grow into a rapist, can turn into a wife abuser, can turn into a child abuser, you know, different things. When you talk of adults who are pedophiles, sexual abusers in different ways, a lot of the time it's they grew up as bullies and nobody noticed on time to curb that behavior.
And when again, you can say they come from unstable homes, because
quite a lot of
if
the time.
someone becomes a bully, I don't think that person comes from a stable home. Do you believe that?
Quite a lot of the time.
Yes.
But you'll be shocked to know that some bullies actually come from homes where there's a lot of love.
Really?
Yes. Just like you mentioned, the external environment,
yes,
does influence some of children's behavior. You know, we have the internet these days that is available to everybody at not so expensive a cost to that person. So you find that children also have access to this internet.
Yeah,
and just like you mentioned, they have games, they have different things they watch, different things that encourage them. You know, sometimes they get points for exhibiting some behavior. You know, just like some of the outrageous things we've been hearing, a child will commit murder because something online encouraged him to commit murder. It's the same thing. You know, bullies also learn to become bullies from some of these
extraneous factors.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
All right. And also children with permissive or absent parents can also turn to bullying. You know, just like we said about the games and so on. If you have parents that allow their children to get involved in any form of game, Like in my own case, I can use myself to give an example. My child has a video game. I try to monitor the type of games he plays. You know, I try to know what he plays. I don't just allow him to download or buy any form of, how will I put it now, video game. I try to know what he watches, what he plays. And so if you have permissive parents that allow you to do anything, it can also help the child to turn into bullying. Or you have parents that are not always there, they are very busy. You know, we are very busy
these days.
Very busy with our work that we don't even care what our children do. And it tends to turn them to bullying. There's some of them that have that tendency. And this bullying, I also understand, like I said, they're cowards. It gives them a sense of superiority. It makes them feel tough. It makes them have control, which is lacking in their own life. Well, like say it's actual life. And also kids with low self-esteem may bully as a way to cover for a low sense of self-worth. Okay, so let's take a break, and when we return shortly, we shall talk more about bullies. Don't go away.